Yes, people, we're back and you're keeping it locked with the real Gunna Lee. Big up to the Yardie Army, that's my loyal subscribers who, view the content, like, share, subscribe. Big up to all of you if you're new to the channel, see what going. This is where we keep it all things Arsenal. It's a big day for Arsenal. Arsenal versus Olympiacos Europa League. I'll give you guys a preview of my lineup and the prediction of the game. Before we do that, I just want to go through a few items, pressing items for the Arsenal. It's been a while, so I just want to catch you guys up. First thing we're gonna have a discussion on is our defense, our centre backs. We currently have about 4 centre backs that play for us really in the squad. Pablo Mari, David Luiz, Gabriel, and Rob Holding. And essentially the discussion is, who is the best pairing for us in centre backs. And right now, it seems Arteta is going with the tried and true, these guys who have gone through, a lot in terms of David Luiz and Pablo Mari. The older guard, the more experienced guard of David Luiz and Pablo Mari have been starting the last few games. And honestly, the way that David Luiz has played this season, you can't really knock it. Pablo Mari has come in and he's been composed. He's very cerebral. He can read the game. He's great in the air. The one thing that you could possibly point out is it doesn't look like he has that much speed or quickness, but in terms of his attentiveness and his predictiveness and his ability to predict where the balls will be, he never puts himself in a bad position and he knows angles. And for me, Pablo Mari looks like a good signing, not too bad so far. Gabriel started the season off hot, was doing all kinds of things, scoring the most goals for us when Aubameyang was in that bad form. He's come back after the corona, gone through a corona, I guess not vacation, but it's like a corona quarantine and you don't know that affects people differently. So it doesn't look like he's as sharp as he was at the start of the season. But for me, going forward, David Luiz shouldn't be given another contract. He's been great for us this season so far, but he's a player like many of our other players have a mistake in him. It's not going to get any better. We need to be developing these centre-backs we have. I said Gabriel, we have Saliba, we have Rob Holding. And for me, the future is Gabriel. But for this game, we can understand if he goes with David Luiz and Pablo Mari. My only thing is that, for me, Gabriel has that pace and that aggressiveness that I want to see in my centre-backs. I want an aggressive centre-back who actually plays for the ball, and I want one to cover. And I feel like Pablo and David Luiz are kind of like that. I feel like David Luiz is aggressive as well, but not to the same extent as Gabriel, and he doesn't have the recovery pace that Gabriel has. So that's kind of why I would want to see that. But I understand that, Arteta wants to play with one left-footed centre-back and one right-footed centre-back. So it's understandable why he goes, the way that he goes with that. But going in the future, Gabriel should definitely be our starting centre-back. Moving on to the defense, people. It's going to be the right back position that we're talking about. And this is a discussion in every friggin' Arsenal circuit, whether or not Hector Bellerin should be playing. Why is Hector Bellerin playing? Is it because him are new to Arteta? Is it because him and Arteta are bridging, when Arteta used to play for Arsenal back in the day? I mean, they did have a good relationship, people, and they do seem to be close. But at the end of the day, for me, if you just look at the merit of it all in terms of the games played for Hector has played numerous games for us this year. And in the small amount of games Cedric has played, he showed us that he's the better passer. He shows us that he has better delivery. He shows us that he has better positioning and combination with the rest of the guys on the right wing. And so for me, I know he's linked to other places. I know Hector tries for the team and he probably loves the team too. But at the end of the day, people, for me, it has to be Cedric there in the right back position, and we have to be looking to get new right backs. If it's not going to be Cedric, we have to look to get an improvement in that position. A left back position, you don't know, that's all right. We have the King Tierney, Kieran, you don't know. You have to big up to Kieran. He's one of our better players this season. And, coming back from injury too, he's not as sharp as he was, but, I mean, you can't knock this man hustle. You can't knock him effort. And, yeah, just big up to Kieran there. So the next person I want to, we're going to take a deep dive on is our midfielder. Seems to be what some people would say our most consistent, most played midfielder. which to me is just straight up damning because this guy is the person who has given up the most goals from his eras since he's touched the Premier League. Since he's touched the Premier League for Arsenal after Arsenal finished second. Arsenal has never been in a Champions League position. And I mean, this is just damning for Granit Xhaka. He's made mistakes in the last game, just giving the ball away. And for me, mistakes are far and few. Like there's mistakes that happen in football all the time. Partey made a few mistakes in the game prior, but when Partey makes a mistake, he's dynamic enough to lose the ball, try to dribble it up, but then also go back and tackle the guy, nip at him, and get the ball back. No foul, no nothing, no yellow card, nothing. And that's the difference that we have. I think we rely way too much on Xhaka, especially we're relying on a guy that is prone to errors, and we put him in positions in which he has three people running at him, and then he has to pick a quick pass. And for me, it's unforced errors, but this is what Arteta does to our team. We're forcing ourselves to play with Xhaka. We've never tried to see how a Partey and Ceballos would look. We've never been given that opportunity or chance. When the rest of the players are being rested, Xhaka still plays. And for me, that just shows you how important he is to our team. And I don't think it should be that way. There's numerous times that I said Xhaka should not play for us. And for me, at the end of this season, we should look to, move him on. He's played a lot better than his normal, his average. And so for me, this is the best time to send Xhaka away and for us to bolster up our midfield, get back Guendouzi in the team. I don't care about all the immaturity that he's done. He's probably learned a lot, going on loan and make something of those players that have some talent and that we can, I can do with those guys giving away the ball because I haven't seen it, them do it all the time. With Xhaka, I see it every other game. I see it. It's lessened this year. It looks like he's playing a little more polished, but that is still a part of his game, as you can see from last game. So for me, we have to look for ways of moving on from Xhaka and stop being so reliant on Xhaka. I would love to see Partey playing a more defensive position and then Ceballos given the onus to, work with Odegaard and working the ball outside of that midfield. The next big one is the disrespect my baller, my striker, King Laka keep on getting on the by Arteta. I don't know what Laka has to do to assure himself a start. Laka started off the season hot on fire, people. When we needed goals from Abba and all of them things there, he was nowhere to be found. It was Laka who was scoring the goals for us. And then one Liverpool game, Laka misses a chance, which all players do, all strikers do. Not every striker is 100%. Laka gets dropped after that. And then Laka can't really, he's an in and out type of the game and, subbing for Nketiah sometime and Nketiah get game. To me, it's height of disrespect. Because when the fact is that when Laka has been in the game from the start of the season, he's been playing well. And then when he's reintroduced, with the whole Abba going away, it was Laka and Smith Rowe and Saka making the team work, creating that cohesion, creating those chances. And then immediately when Aubameyang comes back, we put in Laka on the bench. I think it's a major disrespect, and we need to find a way to have Laka in this team, working with a Smith Rowe and Odegaard, because he helps our team in terms of build up, creating that play and that clinical incisiveness that we need to score our goals. I mean, I'm not going to knock it that Aubameyang is a prime goal scorer, but Aubameyang can find his way on the left. And I think the real rationale now is going on to the other issue is the Willian playing over Pepe kind of thing, or the Willian starting thing. For me, it should be Aubameyang on the left, and then we have Laka through the middle, and we have Odegaard or Smith Rowe there, and Saka on the right. You know what I mean? And if we're going to do that, and if we won't do that, then it should be a Saka there and a Pepe over there if we're not going to do that, and then Abba through the middle. There's no way that Willian should make himself on the starting team before a Laka and before a Pepe, in my opinion. And I mean, everybody has his favorites. He's a signing from Arteta signing. It's going to give him more leeway, going to give him more time. And he's a veteran, so him have that leeway in terms of Willian, and Willian has finally repaid it, in the last few games with a couple of assists. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Willian instead of Laka, and just Laka coming off of the bench trying to give us a spark. I mean, I think I do really think that Laka have been done dirty this year in terms of just his game time and him not starting these games. And I just hope that Arteta can figure out that, hey, it's not this reliance, this favoritism thing, and I have to say it is a favoritism thing. It has to stop. Willian didn't really warrant playing those games in which he started to play well. You know what I mean? It should have been Pepe starting, should have been Saka, it should have been Laka, and then, you know, or even Martinelli. And at the end of the day, Willian took his chance, and because he took his chance, he's gonna be given more chances, and we just hope that he actually brings it to the table. But people, that's really what I have to say for today. The video already gone longer than I wanted to, but it's so easy for me to just talk about Arsenal with you guys. And in terms of the predicted lineup for me, I'd have to go with Leno, Cedric, David Luiz. I'm gonna go with Gabriel, man. I think Gabriel has enough time to train and stuff, but you would see probably Pablo Marie instead of Gabriel for Arteta. Left back Tierney. That midfield, I want to see Partey Ceballos, but for now we have to go with Partey Xhaka, at least away from home. In the mid, in that cam position, I think Smith Rowe is coming back from injury, but he probably won't be 100% fit to start. So we have Odegaard through the middle. On the left now, this is going to be the tough one for me. The way Aubameyang has been playing, for me, Aubameyang is on the left, Saka on the right, and Laka through the middle. But the way I think Arteta will play this is Willian on the left, Saka on the right, Auba through the middle. And honestly, the way that our forwards have found form and the way that we're looking, we should be good enough to get a few goals out of this. And we have the likes of a Pepe, Martinelli, and Laka off of the bench to kind of change the game. So yeah, people are looking forward to the game. It's the biggest game of the season for us. Olympiacos is not going to be any pushover. They only lost one game domestically so far, so them on top form. And if you guys remember last year, they gave with nightmares kicking us out of this very same competition. Yeah, all I just want to see is that Aubameyang do a flip and just give them a couple shot like Rabbi did to us last year. But yo, thank you people for keeping it locked. And if you're here for this long, and you must like the G, so like the thing, share the thing, subscribe to the Yardie Army. And you don't know it's the real gonna lead. I'm out.